If you're looking for the cheapest and most reliable Madden 22 coins on the market, check out my sponsor, MMOEXPR.com. Links are in the description, and use code JEDI at checkout for 5% off. Alrighty, hey there guys, Xavier Howard here, aka Jedi95, coming at you guys with another video. So today we have the secondary, basically all the top 10 zone and not zone from safeties and cornerbacks were revealed, as well as surprise Madden 23 Gridiron notes that they dropped from the Madden 23 feedback. That I'm gonna go over all of that in this video. So this is gonna be a bit of a longer video, guys. So if you guys wouldn't mind sticking around to the end, or if you guys don't want to, and all I ask is you just hit the like button and subscribe if you guys are new, as they do help me out in the algorithm. But with that being said, guys, so let's look at the top 10 safeties. So they are in as follows. We got Kevin Byard, Jesse Bates, Adrian Phillips, Amani Hooker, Darwin James, Justin Smith, Jordan Poyer, Harrison Smith, Jeremy Chin, and Jaron Kearse. Those are the top 10 safeties. So if you look at them each individual stats, we'll start off with Kevin Byard. 85 speed, 87 acceleration, 88 zone coverage. Not a bad card whatsoever. I actually like the 85. I actually like the 88 zone. Especially because, you know, it seems like, you know, if the game plays anything like it did last year, you know, 90 zone coverage is going to be the elite breaks on the ball. Then we have Jesse Bates, again, 87 zone coverage, just like close to what Kevin Byard has. So it'll be interesting to see what they come up with when it comes to, like, upgrading these players, you know, how they're going to do the upgrades. Then we have Adrian Phillips, a little bit on the slower side, especially compared to those two. But also, again, 87 zone coverage. A lot of these safeties have high zones, actually. I've noticed, like, these top 10 safety cards all have high zone. You see Amani Hooker here with 86 speed, 86 zone, only 84 speed, though. Then we move on to Darwin James. Now, this one is probably the most balanced out of them all, as he does have 84 speed, 82 man, 84 zone, 82 pursuit. Darwin looks incredibly good. Pardon me, I apologize for that. Then we have Justin Simmons for the Denver Broncos, 84 speed, 86 acceleration, 84 zone coverage, not bad whatsoever. Jordan Poyer, 83 speed. I think it was him who just suffered a dislocated elbow today. So, but good news for Bills fans, he should be back by the time the season begins, from my understanding. But until then, hopefully his recovery goes well. And then last but certainly not least, for number 8, we have Harrison Smith out in this one. 85 hit power, 83 speed. Again, you know, the lower speed is just fantastic to see. Obviously, it's going to keep the game going longer. Then with Jeremy Chin for number 9, here are his stats. 84 speed, 78 zone. And then lastly, we have Jaron Kearse with 82 speed, 84 zone. Now, I don't understand how Tyrann Mathieu, who is a top 10 safety I think he's the best safety in regs, but yet he was not a top 10 safety this time around. Same with guys like Buda Baker and Marcus Williams, even Quandre Diggs, I would argue, probably could have been in this top. Well, maybe not even Quandre, I think, but definitely. Pardon me, I'm sorry, guys. I do still have a sore throat from my cold that I'm recovering from, but you know, I would definitely say guys like, you know, Tyrann Mathieu, Buda Baker should have probably, mainly Tyrann Mathieu, I think he should have absolutely been in the top 10 for safeties. And then now we move on to the cornerbacks. For corners, these are the top 10 corners here. So we got Jalen Ramsey, J.C. Jackson, Xavier Howard, Travon Diggs, Denzel Ward, Tre'Davious White, A.J. Terrell, Kenny Moore, Kendall Fuller, and Darius Slay. Now, one that jumps out to me right away is there is no, what's his name? I saw a lot of people. Jaire Alexander. Yes, Jaire Alexander was not on this. Does not make sense to me. I don't understand why Jaire Alexander did not make this list. I absolutely, if I had to pick, I would put him around 86 overall, like right in here, the top 10, the bottom 10. Maybe, actually, if he's in 86, he would be cracking top 5. But, you know, he's in there as over guys like, you know, Travon Diggs. Kendall Fuller made it over him. Like, I don't understand Kendall Fuller making it. It doesn't make sense to me. But Jalen Ramsey, here are his stats. 86 and 87s across the board with 88 man coverage. This Jalen Ramsey is going to be phenomenal to start the year. Great coverage stats, great athletic ability. overall. J.C. Jackson, not the most agile, but he's got great coverage with 88 man and 85 zone. Then we move on to Xavier Howard, a little bit on the slower side, but a solid man coverage with 85. Then we move on to Travon Diggs with 85 speed and 87 man. All jokes aside, though, like, this card is actually pretty good. I think this is going to be one of the more sought-after ones because of the fact that he's very fast with great zone coverage. Denzel Ward, 84 speed with 85 man, pretty solid. Tre'Davious White, 85 speed with 86 zone coverage. Again, not bad. AJ Terrell definitely I think AJ Terrell definitely deserved to be on this. I don't know why people think he doesn't deserve to be. I think AJ Terrell definitely does. 84 speed, 84 excel, 85 zone coverage. Like, this card is really good also. Pardon me. I apologize once again, guys. I can't do much about it. 84 speed, 85 zone coverage, 85 excel for Kenny Moore. Then for Kendall Fuller, they didn't even make this card that good. 83 speed with 84 man and 82 zone. Like, honestly, like, if Kendall Fuller, like, if he was gonna be, like, I actually think, like, if they were gonna make him in this, they probably should have made his speed, like, 84, 86. And then Darius Slay, 83 speed, 85 zone coverage, you know. Not the worst stats, but obviously compared to these other corners, not the best. So now let's move on. By the way, just looking at them again, here are the top 10 corners. And then if we're going to look at the top 10 players overall, Kevin Byard is number 6, Jalen Ramsey is number 2, and Derrick Henry is number 5. So we still have tomorrow, I believe, if we look back at the content schedule, yep, tomorrow is going to be linebackers and defensive ends. Pardon me. Sorry about that again, guys. Linebackers and defensive ends, and then Thursday is going to be where they release the quarterback details. And if my guess is correct, it's going to be when we hear about the first promo of the year, which I think is going to be headliners, as well as the the team captains, and maybe even might hear them about the Mutt Master on Thursday. All right, so moving on to the Madden 23 closed beta feedback. Now, they did actually just drop this on us this morning. And obviously, I'm making a video, making a conversation piece about it now. So with that being said, guys, they did receive our feedback, and they did actually put out some response to us. So for the gameplay feedback, the biggest one that they got was don't drastically change the game. Leave coverage reaction time alone, which is obviously something that I touched on in my video for the Madden 23 beta. I said don't touch it. I think it's perfect the way it is. Leave it alone. Even if it is a little overpowered, which probably can be. We had an entire year of defenders not being able to play a damn thing whatsoever when they're in zone coverage, that I honestly am completely fine with them doing this. So I don't really care. Keep it this way, yada, yada, yada. So they responded, number one feedback, this is number one feedback topic we received. Rest assured, Madden community, our vision of the game is, our vision of game balance is consistent with yours, and the gameplay you experience in the closed beta is what you will be playing on launch day. There has been some polish added to and bugs fixed from player feedback to make it even better, but the overall experience is the same as you would be playing as you played in the closed beta, which is great. You know, again, I had a lot of positive things to say about the beta in terms of pass coverage, in terms of pass rush. Once they tuned out the instant wins, which they did fix like a bit of way through the beta. Once they got rid of the instant wins for pass rush, I had no complaints after that. That was the only major complaint I had, was that. Other than that, it was fantastic. I love Madden 23 where it is right now. Leave it alone, please. Wait for at least, I would say wait until Halloween. Wait until around the Most Feared promo before you start to take our feedback and actually make changes, because the thing is, like, with the game, like, you jump in, you make changes too soon, and then you just destroy the game, and it just makes things worse. So I would wait for a couple of months, wait to get our feedback, wait to actually, have a lot of people adjust to the game and whatnot. Obviously, if there's, like, a game-breaking bug, like, for example, like, if you have somebody, like, if you have, like, a couple of players in your lineup or a couple of abilities on your players, and then when you go to boot up a game, it just straight kicks you out every single time. Obviously fix that, because, like, that just makes it unplayable. But for the most part, keep the game as it is. Add referees back to the game. Why? Why was this number 2? Like, this is honestly something that I could live without. Like, they could never add referees back to the field again, and I genuinely would not give two shits. because I don't understand why this was something that this is something that people are concerned with. I get the whole realism aspect and the presentation, but there's so many other problems with this game that are consistently a legacy problem or a deal problem in the franchise that I honestly think you should just not even worry about this. Just leave the refs out of the game. It could be Madden 35, and I wouldn't give two shits about refs being on the field or not. I wouldn't care. But they responded well. Refs returning to the field during live gameplay is something we're not able to deliver in Madden 23. It is something that we want to get badly as our players. We want to make sure that refs do return. They return in a state where our visual quality is on par with the rest of the characters on the field. Refs is very high on our list of future roadmap, which again I don't understand. I don't understand personally whatsoever. I think that should not be something that people should be concerned with. Play awareness, too easy to run the same plays over and over again. We have made a number of changes since the closed beta to bring more balance to gameplay. We believe these changes will bring more variety to play calling, but we want to hear from you, our community, when the game launches to let us know how you feel about these changes. Each of these implemented changes may be further tuned via Madden 23 title updates. Logic added so that when defensive backs are playing linebacker positions, they will be slower and they'll have a slower reaction to the run game. Now, me personally, my apologies, voice crack. Anyhow, me personally, I'm actually completely fine with this. I think this is a great change, probably the best change to the game that they could have made, other than maybe making the linebackers jump, which is something that they actually did not talk about in this, by the way. But this is great. I am so sick and fucking tired of seeing safeties being the best players on the field. I'm done with them being great run defense. I'm done with them being great pass rushers and pass coverage, whatever. They're safeties. Like, they're cornerbacks, they're defensive backs. They're supposed to be good in coverage and passing. But when it comes to defensive backs, like safeties and corners, playing like safeties mainly, at linebacker, in nickel and dime defenses, like, I'm sorry, like, I'm so done with seeing people go from 3-3-5 to 3-3-5 wide, having their two safeties play outside linebacker and being able to pass rush as good as a pass rusher. Like, that to me is ridiculous. I don't really care about that. And you're probably thinking, yeah, I get it. Like, this, well, what if they're faster than most offensive linemen? Sure, they are, but my rebuttal to that is, they're literally right there on the line of scrimmage. I don't think speed really matters in that situation. Like, if they're literally, like, directly in front of them, I don't see a scenario where an edge safety is going to Usain Bolt the fuck around a goddamn edge and get a sack. I just don't get it. So, but yeah, no, this is a great change. This is going to incentivize people to start using linebackers again, which I am all for. I've had linebackers on my field for better part of the last couple of years still, and I still will plan to do that. Remove the ability to hot route tight end to pass block in assignment in a 2-point wide receiver stance. Pardon me. So basically, if a tight end is lined up like a wide receiver, they can no longer pass block if they're in line with the offensive line. Weird. Don't understand why. But anyhow, adjusted the corner route in bunch formations and the corner hot route in the hot route master and slot apprentice abilities to align with the other corner routes throughout the playbooks. Okay, sure. Made improvements to man coverage pre-snap alignment versus bunch formation. So basically, like, it's gonna be like either more obvious that people are playing man in bunch against bunch, or they're going to make an effort to, like, play their man a little differently. Like, for example, you're in a bunch formation. Let's say you call a flood, right? A street corner and out on a flat. All right. So I think what might happen is, like, say you got, like, a man on the outs, like, lined up, like, directly over top, let's say, of them. So then you got the farthest outside guy will probably jump to the flat. The furthest inside guy will jump to the corner, or the middle guy will play the corner route, and then the farthest outside, like the farthest inside, will play the streak. It's better visual if I showcased it, but I don't know. But the point is that's one of the things they're doing. So I'm glad with that. Pulling linemen are too slow / too indecisive. Tuning in AI changes are made to were made to make pulling the lineman more explosive through the line of scrimmage. And on top of the fundamental improvements, you have to keep an eye on speed of the pulling lineman as slower offensive lines can force you to lay off the acceleration mechanic while he navigates faster through the pulling. And faster offensive, yeah, okay, so whatever. I mean, okay. Pardon me. I mean, this is something that I really don't. I mean, this does affect me because I do like to run a lot of gap runs and a lot of base runs, where I have pulling guards. But, I mean, it depends, like, how you feel about this personally. I think this could be both good and bad. I would say probably more bad than good, but that's just me. Pass blocking isn't strong enough / too many insta sheds. Well, this is something that they talked about in the beta, and I said this already. I think I said this already, or if I haven't, I'll say it now. They already patched the instant wins in the beta, so it really doesn't matter to me. So I really don't think it matters. User interceptions aren't always responsive, so tuning to catch animations to increase range for jumping picks. Tuning to slightly decrease situations where a player is requesting play ball without seeing the corresponding animation response. So this is good because obviously, if you're playing on play ball, you're going to want your defensive players to make a play on the ball, right? If the ball is coming at them. You don't want or in a two-man situation, you don't want the receiver to just be able to jump up and get away with it. Man coverage fakeouts are too frequent. Whoever complained about this, fuck you. Too many fumbles. Tuning to significantly reduce fumble chances on quarterbacks inside the pocket. That's big. Definitely. Tuning to slightly reduce fumble chances on quarterback hits while in the early portion of a throw. Okay, I'm okay with that. Tuning to reduce fumbles by non-quarterback ball carriers on hit stick and strip ball attempts. Not a fan of this one. Not a fan of this one. If you're journaling or you juke and you get absolutely punched in the nose, figuratively speaking, by Cam Chancellor or by like Micah Parsons or anybody that can lay a fucking hit, that ball's got to come out. Like if you're hurdling or you juke into somebody that can lay a hit on you, ooh, voice crack again. If you're doing that, that ball's got to come out. That ball's got to come out. You got to stop. People need to stop doing that. That irritated me so much last year, seeing people being able to journal and then they take a smack and then it just doesn't come out. So that's got to change. Please put this back. I would say if you're journaling into and then you get cracked by a big hitter, I would say that ball's got to come out 75% of the time. I would say that ball's got to come out 75, maybe even 80%. Just it's got to come out. It's got to be like to a point where people need to be careful with it. That's all I got to say. Significant reduction to punch out fumbles by AI control defenders during stand-up tackles on competitive. Sure, okay. Not enough hit stick variety. 27 new hit stick animations have been added for launch. Most of the existing animations have been updated to make them look and behave differently. Okay, that's fine. Wide receivers should win more contested catches and mismatches. There aren't enough what the hells in the world to what I'm reading. To what I just read. Like, why? Tuning to increase catch success for wide receivers in contested catch situations. When in a mismatch, logic included for physical wide receivers attributes such as height to play more significant role in success of contested catches. Bro, we already had this problem in 23. This was already a huge issue in Madden 23. In 22, this was already a huge issue in Madden 22. People under 6'1" were not even usable because of the fucking contested catches. And now you want it more? And now you want more. Like, seriously. Like, at this point, EA needs, in my opinion, this is an unpopular opinion. I think EA should just bring back two-man interactions because this shit is the reason why Madden 22, in my opinion, Madden 22 was not good. Because, well, one of the reasons. But because of the fact that, you can have 6'5" Andre Johnson jump up over 6'3", 6'2", 6'3" Richard Sherman and catch the ball. That to me is not a mismatch. In my opinion, Richard Sherman can clamp down on that no fucking problem on a 6'5" Calvin Johnson because he literally did that in his prime. Oh, even in his peak, he was pretty damn good. But you get the point. Like, I should not have to worry about those types of situations. Like that to me is what made Madden 22 one of the worst games, in my opinion, I've ever played in my life. Skill-based passing can be difficult to understand. Even though it's not in the closed beta, when you first turn on the game at launch, you will have the opportunity to play through the onboarding flow to learn more about the new passing system. You will also have an opportunity to lab deeper in practice mode. And lastly, additional work has been done in the in-game field feedback systems to make it even more user-friendly, such as color coding the feedback text and passing reticle to match the level of accuracy. Be on the lookout for more developer deep dives closer to launch, and it will go even more detail about the skill-based passing and what it can unlock in the passing game. Now, I don't mind the skill-based passing. Personally, I apologize again. Sorry, guys. It definitely is something I don't mind. I actually have played, again, I played with it. I think it's really great. However, I think a lot of people are going to go back to the classic passing just simply because of a couple of reasons. One, low passing is not that good in Madden 23 with the skill-based passing. Like, you can't not low ball a pass at all with it. Like, I've tried. You just couldn't do it. And secondly, it's because the ball velocity and release speed of the quarterbacks is a little bit slower when you have classic passing on versus when you have it off. So I think a lot of people might start go back to classic passing. I might, honestly, at first, or I might go back to skill-based passing when it starts. But if they haven't changed much, or if it's still not what I think it should be, then I'll go back to that. Franchise, if you guys want to read the franchise stuff, I will link it in the description as well, because I'm not going to go over these too much. Same with the yards and the face of the franchise, new stuff in there. But that is going to do it, guys. So this was basically everything. This was a long video. Like I said, I do apologize. But if you guys did stick around to the end, I greatly appreciate it. And if you guys could hit the like, that would be also greatly appreciated. And subscribe if you guys are new. Definitely going to be trying to push hard and grind for content and, start streaming more consistently next year because, I do want to stream. So there is that. But until next time, guys, I'll see you in the next video. I'm out. Peace.